Boi kala, boi kala, boi kala, boi kala. Sing those words with me. Boi kala, boi kala, boi kala, boi kala. Sing those. Keep singing those words. Boi kala, boi kala. Keep singing those words. Boi hamame rosha ila not nistalka. Bo v'nei zeli krat Shabbat hamalka. Hakamame rosha ila not nistalka. Bo v'nei zeli krat Shabbat hamalka. Boi kala, boi kala, boi kala, boi kala.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Again, Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Happy Hanukkah, good Shabbos. Welcome to Congregation Dor Tamid and our Friday evening Kabbalat Shabbat and Shabbat of Chanukah worship service. It's wonderful to be here with all of you here in the sanctuary, as well as those of you who are joining us online through our virtual community as we welcome in this Shabbat of Chanukah, this Shabbat where we will kindle not only Shabbat lights but also Hanukkah lights to brighten up the world. We've come to the point in the year where, on the Hebrew calendar at least, and we're just about a couple weeks away from on the Gregorian calendar, it's the darkest time of the year, where the days are the shortest, the sun goes down extraordinarily early, and we have this opportunity on Hanukkah to add light, to raise our light throughout this week as we go from just the 2 candles of last night through the 8th night with the full Hanukkiyot. But not only that, we also have the opportunity that Hanukkah reminds us to spread light, to spread goodness, to spread shalom and tikkun and repair throughout the world. And the lights of the Hanukkah menorah are meant to inspire us to raise our light throughout creation as we go through this week. So we're going to begin our service first I'm going to ask everyone to turn off or silence your cell phones or other electronic devices. And first we have to light our Hanukkah candles before we enter into Shabbat. So I know a number of you brought your Hanukkiyot. If you did, I'm going to invite those of you who have a Hanukkah menorah with you to join Mike and I on the bima so that we can kindle our Hanukkah lights. And we are going to turn first to page 572 for the blessings of the Hanukkah candles.
Yeah.
So we light first our Shamash, our helper candles. And we use those to light our other lights, first for the second night, and then the first candle that was in last night, as we sing together the 2 blessings.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim Ahem Bazman Hazeh. Page 669, we sing Ma'oz Sur. Ma'oz Sur Yeshuati Lechana El Shabeach Tikon Beit Tefilati V'sham Toda Nizabeach Le'etachin Matbeach Mitzaram Nadbeach Az Egmor Bashir Mizmor Chanukah Mizbeach Az Egmor Bashir Mizmor Chanukah Mizbeach. Rock of ages, let our song praise your saving power. You amidst the raging foes were our sheltering tower. Furious they assailed us, but your arm availed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us. And your word broke your sword when our own strength failed us.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone. So now that we have welcomed in the second night of Hanukkah, we are going to transition and welcome in this Shabbat, this day of rest that we have. And on this Shabbat, we are celebrating not only Shabbos and not only Hanukkah, but also here at CDT a Simcha, as tomorrow morning Brett Greenwald will be here with Mike and I on the Bima, celebrating becoming a Bar Mitzvah, the newest adult member of the Jewish people. And he will lead us in prayer and read from the Torah and then teach us from its ancient and sacred wisdom. And to begin the celebration of the weekend of you becoming a Bar Mitzvah, Brett, I'm going to ask you and your parents and your sisters to come to the Bima and help us enter into Shabbat by kindling our Sabbath lights on page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat.
We turn now in our prayer books to page 130 as we prepare to enter into Shabbat with the Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat. We sing together this song that says, "Come, let us all raise our voices in song and sing joyously. Lechu neranena.
Lechu neranena l'Adonai, nari aleso yeshenu, nikad mafana betoda. Bizmiro Narialo. Page 131. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash. Shiru Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai Shir Chadash.
Page 133, Psalm 98. Mizmor, Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash, Ki Niflaot Asa Hoshia Lo Yimino Uzroa Kodsho. Psalm. Sing to Adonai a new song, for God has worked wonders. God's right hand, God's holy arm has won God victory. Adonai has manifested God's victory, has displayed God's triumph in the sight of the nations. God was mindful of God's steadfast love and faithfulness toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth beheld the victory of our God. Together, raise a shout to Adonai, all the earth. Break into joyous songs of praise. Page 138, we prepare to welcome in the Sabbath bride with the singing of L'Chadodi. We will sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. For the 9th and final verse, we will rise and face the door of the sanctuary, hoping to catch a glimpse of the Shabbat HaMalkah, the Sabbath bride, as she enters our presence.
Yalalalai L'Chadodi, Yalalalai L'Krakala, Yalalalai B'nei Shabbat, B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Shamor v'zachor, v'ribor echad, ishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem multiferet, v'litilah. Yalalai, yalalai, l'chadodi, yalalai, l'krakala, yalalai, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, lecho v'nelcha, yihi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh v'machshava tehila. Yalalai, yalalai, l'chadodi, yalalai, l'krakala, yalalai, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela. Hidoreri, Iva oreh, Kumi Uri, Shedaveri, Kivod Adonai, Alayek Nigla, Yalalai, yalalalai lekadoni, yalalalai lekrakala, yalalalai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom, materet bala. Tam besimcha u'b'tova, tochem u'ne'am segula, boi kala, boi kala. Yalalai, yalalai lekadoni, yalalai lekakala, yalalai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Please be seated. We turn now in our prayer books to page 145, and I'd like to invite our Bar Mitzvah, Brett Greenwald, to the Bima to offer this prayer of the Lamdeni.
Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
B'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei techol beit Yisrael. Bagala bagala uv'izman kari ve'immeru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabba mevorach. Le'alam u'le'almei almaya yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha berichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, na'amiran be'alma ve'immeru. Amen. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Barechu et Adonai Havorach. Baruch Adonai Havorach Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalalai lai lai. 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 Am I awake? Am I prepared?
Page 151. We read together at the top of the page. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'afta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'odecha, ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, Vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha Uvisharecha Lema'an tizkiru Va'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'item kedoshim le'elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim V'yot lachem le'elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet.
Page 157, we read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. As we turn to page 158 for the Micha Mocha, we turn to a different melody this evening than normal. It is the tradition that on different holidays at different points of the year, we sing this song of redemption, the Micha Mocha, the melody of that season. And so we sing it tonight to a melody we've already sung this evening, to the melody of Ma'ot Sur, the melody of Chanukah.
Mi hamocha ma'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh norat elot osef ele norat elot Osef ele Nornai loch le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
We turn now in our prayer books to page 162 as we turn to these words from Torah that remind us that as we keep Shabbat, it will keep us as well and renew our souls.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם.
We, in a moment, will turn to the tefillah, our standing prayer, our central prayer section of the service. But I want to point out that as we turn to it, we will, as always, sing the opening psalm together and then go off in our own way, our own space, our own time to offer the prayers of this section silently, either the words on the page or the words in your heart. But as you are going through the section, if you are following the words on the page, when you reach the Hoda'ah, the prayer for thanksgiving on 176, you'll note that there's a turn about 400 pages comment, so that there's an insert for the prayer of Chanukah, Al Hanisim, the prayer for the miracles of this week. So we first, though, have to get there, which means we have to rise, turn to page 164, asking God to open our lips that we can all declare God's praise.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agidi latecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. La 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Uyase shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen.
Yesterday morning, the world lost a Gadol Hador, a great Torah scholar of our generation. When Rabbi David Ellenson, the Chancellor Emeritus and Professor of Jewish Thought at the Hebrew Union College, passed away suddenly, Rabbi Ellenson was my teacher, and it was a profound loss for rabbis and cantors and Jewish educators around the country. As we were talking about and remembering our teacher, I was reminded of a teaching for Chanukah that Rabbi Ellenson shared that I'd like to share with you all this evening. Rabbi Ellenson pointed out that the description of Chanukah that falls in the Talmud in our compendium of Jewish law and description of Jewish life that was published by the rabbis centuries ago, the description centers around a debate between the two great scholars of the time, Hillel and Shammai. The section starts off by asking the question, generally, my Chanukah, what is this Chanukah? And then it develops into this debate that the two scholars had about how should we light our menorah. You see, Rabbi Shammai said we should start with 8 candles and count down, signifying how many days were left. Whereas Hillel said, no, we count up. We start with 1 and we add more holiness, we add more light to creation. As you can see, Hillel won the argument. But what Rabbi Ellenson brought forward was Shammai's reasoning. Shammai's reasoning, which was seemingly out of character for him. Shammai, more than Hillel, was a Jewish particularist. He was focused on Judaism. He was focused on the Jewish people, the Jewish community, often to the exclusion of the outside world, whereas Hillel seemed to be much more inclusive. But Shammai's reasoning for the counting down of the candles on the menorah had to do with a connection he made to a law that we find in our Torah about the 8 bullocks that were supposed to be sacrificed during Sukkot. Because Chanukah, falling when it does during the year, in the first iteration of it, many, many centuries ago, becomes that replacement of Sukkot. Since our ancestors, at the time of the Maccabees, were unable to sacrifice in the temple until they restored it and rededicated it, they needed to make up for the sacrifices that they had missed weeks before on the previous holiday. And so when Shammai points out that the candles are a replacement for that sacrifice of the bullocks, he points out something that at the surface isn't at once clear. But the Torah then goes on to explain what this sacrifice is for. And it's a sacrifice of hope, that these sacrifices will allow God or influence God to bring peace among the 70 nations. And so when Shammai says we should be reminding ourselves of that on Chanukah, he is really offering a more global view that this holiday brings us. This holiday that at its core was a holiday that began as an anti-assimilationist holiday with our ancestors fighting against Greek assimilation, Greek forced assimilation. But Shammai says, no, we need to remember that even with our particularistic views, even with our views saying that we need to watch out for our own community, we have to remember that we must at the same time make peace with our neighbors, peace with those around us. Rabbi Ellenson concluded by saying that the most important way we can do that, this was a phrase he used often, was to act in a way that when we decide on our actions, we ask ourselves the question, will that action make God want to be my friend? So on Hanukkah, we light our lights, adding light to creation in increasing days, but also remembering that our actions, done in a way to make God want to be our friends, can lead to peace in our communities, peace in our homes, and hopefully, God willing, peace throughout creation. Amen. We take a moment as we pause and think of members of our community who are ill. Some are in the hospital, some are at home recovering, and some have diseases and illnesses from which they may never recover. This week we think especially of Sarah bat Avraham Visara, Stan Isayev, Ann Crow, Karen August, Diane Frontman, Elizabeth Delvaye, Susie Futterman, Anne-Marie Ross, Gerald Goldman, Stephen Perel, Sheila Fages, Irina Zamara, Adrian Traeger, Gloria Foreman, Diane Silverstein, Lee Silverstein, Ricky Baugh, Linda Hooper, Miriam Balus, Susan Rachel Stockel, Carmelo Del Valle, Stacy Ford, Sandra Slovin, Marcia Heisler, Harriet Jacobs, Jonathan Waller, Catalina Deltet, Gary Swartz, Tom Bradford, Danelle Nichols, Robert Cohen, Brianna Jacobs, David Sankey, Stanley Bissell, Richard Jacobs, Brooke Jacobs, Carolyn Eisenhart, Larry Futterman, Gary Paul, Brian Berger, Chandler Jacobs, Yael Bat David Valea, Alan Friedman, Sarah Kahn, Jill Vantine, Eleanor Goodman, Libby Routman, Marjorie Whitmore, Jerry Phillips, Paul Kershaw, Reva Fisher, Leslie Knight, Bert Singerman, Mateo Velasquez, Max Jacobs, Kathy Waldner, Richard Zuspin, and Christopher Denton. If you are thinking of someone who's in need of a prayer of healing, I invite you to share their name with the community as my eyes meet yours, or to add their name at this time to the chat. We think of all those we've named and all those we hold in our hearts. We also ask God to watch over not only them, but to watch over victims of violence around the world. They be blessed with healing, hope, and love. And we ask God to watch over those who care for the sick each day. Their hands and their hearts be blessed with wisdom, compassion, love, and support. As we ask God to watch over all that we have named, all we hold in our hearts, as well as all of us, with this blessing of healing on page 371.
Misheberach Avotenu מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. And let us say, Amen.
We turn now to page 552. We rise to offer a prayer for the state of Israel. Avinu Shebashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'goralo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Smichat Geulatenu, Hagen Aleha be'evrat chastecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha, Shlach Orcha v'amitcha l'rosheha, Tareha v'yoatzeha, Taknes be'atzei tova milfanecha, V'natata shalom ba'aretz v'simchat olam le'yoshveha, v'nomar,
Amen.
O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Kol od balev al penima, Nefesh Yehudi homia, Ulfaate Mizrach kadima, Ayin Letzion Sophia, Od lo avda tikvatenu, Atikva bat shenot alpayim, Leotam chofshi be'artzenu, Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim, Leotam chofshi be'artzenu, Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim.
We remain standing as we turn to page 586 for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula liyotzeh bereshit, shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo begove meromim, hu Eloheinu einod, v'anachnu koreim u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, echad.
Please be seated. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair. For we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. At this sacred moment of our Shabbat evening worship, we think longingly and lovingly of those taken from us both recently and at this season in years past. We are in a period of Shiva. First 7 days since their passing, Sarah Hegidio, Stephen Lopater, and Jeffrey Carpin. We're in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days since their funeral of Larry Silver. We mark the Yartzites, the anniversary of their passing on this Shabbat. Howard Crichton, Harry Falk, Julia Kadar, Mildred Olson, Ernest Pomerantz, Don Prince, Thal Rose, David Sanford, Sophie Steinberg, Louis Walensky. We also remember Rabbi David Ellenson, whose funeral will be this Sunday. If you are remembering someone on this Shabbat, I invite you to share their name with the community as my eyes meet yours, or to add their name at this time to the chat. Zichronam livracha. May all of their memories continue to be a blessing. And may we take all of their memories into our hearts as we also recall those members of the Israeli Defense Forces who have lost their lives in the recent days, as well as all of the innocent who are caught in the crossfire on both sides. We link all of their names and memories to the millions of our people who have no one to say Kaddish for them. So we rise as one community, speaking these words of faith, these words of Kaddish, on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach rute v'amlich malchute, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam l'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'imrumav. Huya aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn. Comfort to all the bereaved here and everywhere with the blessing of peace. Together we all say, Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, Buyaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen.
We turn now in our prayer books to page 668 for our closing song. Please join us singing together.
Mi yimalel gvurot Yisrael otan mimne ein bechol dor yakum agibor goel ham. Mi yimalel gvurot Yisrael otan mimne ein bechol dor yakum agibor goel ham. Shma בימים ההם בזמן הזה, מכבי הושיע ופודה, ובימינו כל עם ישראל, יתייחד יקום להיגאל. הוא can retell the things that befell us? Who can count them? In every age a hero or sage came to our aid. Who can retell the things that befell us? Who can count them? In every age a hero or sage came to our aid.
Please be seated. Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbos.
Happy Hanukkah. A few brief announcements before our concluding blessings of Kiddush and Motzi and a benediction. Tomorrow morning, as I mentioned earlier, we will continue celebrating Shabbat during our 10:30 a.m. worship service, and we will also celebrate the bar mitzvah of Brett Greenwald, and Brett will celebrate becoming the newest adult member of the Jewish people when he leads us in prayer, reads from the Torah, and then teaches us from its ancient and sacred wisdom. So we hope you will all join us tomorrow morning with Brett and his family and friends as we celebrate this simcha in his life and the life of our community. This Sunday, for our final religious school of the semester for pre-K through 8th graders, we will have a celebratory Hanukkah gathering during religious school where all of our students and teachers and madrichim are invited to show up wearing their PJs for a fun morning of games. Yes, PJs, those of you in the back, for games and activities and a little bit of learning as we celebrate Hanukkah and end our religious school semester. Brett, it's okay, we'll give you the day off. Then on Sunday evening, we have our annual CDT Hanukkah party at 5:30. On Monday, Mahjong is at 1 o'clock. On Tuesday at 1 is our knitting and crochet group. Wednesday, Tanakh study will meet at 11 o'clock, where we will continue studying the book of 1 Samuel. And then immediately following that, our sandwich project group will meet to make sandwiches in the kitchen and help feed those who are in need. Thursday, we have Mahjong at 10 and 7 o'clock, so come to one or come to both and play some Maj. And then at 7:30 is our Men's Club Cornhole League. Next Friday evening at 5:30 is Tat Shabbat, followed by a potluck dinner, and then at 7:30 is our Kabbalat Shabbat service with December anniversary blessings. So if you are you have a December anniversary, come and get some chocolate and get a blessing next Friday night. Special thank you this week to Janet Mann, Ruthie Cohn, Lisa Skyer, Karen Kern, Leslie Chaffer, and Natalie Sheknovsky for planning and all the hard work they did for what I'm told was a wonderful and beautiful sisterhood, mitzvah-filled Hanukkah celebration this past week. So thank you to all of them for all the work that they put in. We are going to conclude our service now with Kiddush and Motzi. I'm going to ask everyone to turn to page 123. Brett, I'm going to ask you to come to the Bima. You can leave your book down there. But come up to the Bima for Kiddush, along with any of our young people who have not yet celebrated becoming a bar or bat mitzvah. So you're going to go get. We all rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabar kodsho b'yava uvratzon hinkilanu Karon lema'aseh v'reishit Uyom tehila lemikrae kodesh Zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim Ivanu v'acharta V'otanu kidashta Mikol ha'amim V'shabbat kodecha B'yava u'v'ratzon Inchaltanu
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. L'chaim.
But before we say Motzi, we also like to acknowledge when our young people come home from college and come to services. So, Alana, why don't you come up and join us for Motzi? We uncover the challah as we sing together. Motzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, motzi lechem min haaretz. And as they're having the first bite, so that that blessing can take effect whenever you go have dinner, wherever you're going to have dinner, we ask for God's blessing. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'kol v'nei adam b'shalom. May God give strength to our people. May God bless all of us, all of Israel, and all creation with the blessing of peace. Together we all say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom, and Happy Chanukah.